The storm's blowing in. Expecting over a foot today and tomorrow. And today, the one word theme of the day, the message of the day, stretching. So it's always about the simple things in life, right? Well, as I mentioned in my last video, one of the struggles of filming in the winter here in Jackson, we get temperatures commonly in the meat of the winter, you know, minus 10, minus 20 degrees, but it's just beautiful running, and I love running and I want to continue to film, but herein lies with the cool temperatures, the cold temperatures, the batteries, the camera just doesn't work. So I got myself a quarterback hand warming rig here. Check this out. So I'm thinking I'm just going to be able to slide the GoPro in and out of here, and it'll keep it nice and warm. It's easy access. That's the key, is I can put the GoPro in my pocket, but that's a hassle. I'm always kind of thinking while I'm running and have a thought in my head, and I want to pull it out quickly and film. And so I think this is going to do it. So I'm out on Henry's Road. This is going to be my go-to course for my long runs and just to break up the running around home. This is about 3-mile drive from home when I don't want to run here, but I'm able to just kind of be out in the middle of nowhere, and great wildlife and just good conditions most of the time, regardless of how much snow we get, because it's usually plowed. So I'm ready for winter. It's coming. More than a foot expected overnight, and maybe a little teaser for later. My plan is for my daughter and I to build an igloo in the backyard for a little winter sleeping. So stay tuned. But I'm also excited today. I have a request to coach and manage a running team from Kenya. And this has just kind of came about this week, and I'm still kind of researching, exploring it, but just kind of wanted to throw it out there. Super excited about what this might kind of lead into as far as maybe a cool possible project. It's a male-female team. What's really interesting is it's not only marathon racing, but mountain running, which has me really excited to maybe explore how the Kenyans can do in the mountain running circuit. So I'll keep you posted. Super excited. Back to our message of the day, stretching. I get this question all the time. Should I stretch before a workout? Should I stretch after? But maybe the more important question is, should you be stretching? Or is there something more beneficial you can do based on why you are so tight? Thought I'd bring you down to the Snake River this morning. The biggest reason why majority of people, runners, athletes get tight is because they are not firing muscles in an appropriate way. And we've all heard it. Most of the time, this poor muscle usage stems from our glutes going dormant, and more importantly, our glute medius going dormant and not working properly. The main purpose of our glute medius is to stabilize our body as we run. That is one of the most important muscles that athletes and runners don't use very well for a variety of reasons. We don't care what the reason is, we care how to fix it. Okay, so the vicious cycle is the glute medius goes dormant, it's not doing its stability job, therefore other muscles have to take up and help the glute medius stabilize our body. We use our quads more. We use our hip flexors more. We use our IT band more. All of this creates tightness from an overuse standpoint because those other muscles are doing jobs that it's not meant to do, or they're just doing it too much and causing muscle tightness. So if tightness comes about by poor muscle usage, stretching is not going to help. It may feel good, but just stretching the muscle isn't going to take away the origin of the problem. And that's what we have to deal with. Our run form goes a long way to help with this and creating muscle equilibrium. But I'm going to save that for another day. What we're going to deal with today is what you can do before running to help your body fire your muscles in an appropriate way. Or in another way of thinking about it is flipping the switch to turn on muscles. And that's what happens, is that when our muscles go dormant, the signal from our brain to our muscles gets short-circuited. And we need to flip that switch again. So think about these exercises as your circuit board to flip the switch to notify the brain to start activating those muscles again. That's the key to most muscle tightness. So when you go out to run, they are beginning to work versus just lengthening or stretching the muscle. That's not neuromuscular. And so I mentioned how run form goes a long way to help with this. So too does foot strength and utilizing your feet to activate muscles. Just like good run form, using your feet well while you're dealing with run form, huge. Again, we'll dive into that later. But what can you do before running to train your feet to turn these muscles on? How we use our feet directly dictate how we use our glute, how we use muscles all the way through our body. So we can stimulate this neuromuscular response by training our feet in general, but more importantly for this vlog, turning muscles on before you begin to run. Here's how. All right, I'm in the small studio in the garage doing my pre-run activation, and I've got the Frio gear slant board. And I'll just need to, I know people are gonna ask, this is a prototype color on the site, on the Frio site, they're black. We're just kind of playing around with different colors right now. So don't expect blue. Just wanted to throw that out there, prototype. Anyways, so again, slant board, there's two main key to the design of this. One, it's small. So the surface area is only large enough for you to position your forefoot on the board, which is the key of, again, using our big toe for stabilization, using our arch for stabilization, a lot of strength that goes into that, and we'll get into that in a whole different strength training video. Secondly, with the slant, we have, if you can see that little nub here, it's a little, and this is curved. So not only do we have a curve for the slant board, but we have a little wobble here that makes the board wobble back and forth. So it's not a static slant board. Okay, this just adds to the challenge. This is where it makes it really potent. That wobble forces your foot to really have to stabilize, which is the neuromuscular training that that wobble provides. Through that wobble, if you always having to secure your balance, it's training the brain to send those signals to our muscles. Okay, and that's the key behind the design of the small slant board. Okay, so like I said, I'm here doing my pre-run activation. Okay, first I'm just kind of balancing on the slant board, trying to balance on the center wobble. knowing that I can't necessarily, and it's that wobble, the back and forth wobble, that's really, really beneficial for activating muscles. So again, I'm just balancing, isometric balance, and I'm good enough where I can take away the poles and to really balance. On any given day, I may be using the poles for a little bit more endurance, where I'm able to go a little bit longer. Other days, maybe I use one pole. Other days I use no pole, and see how long I can go balancing on that wobble. Again, eventually you'll begin to feel it in the glute, and that's what we're looking. We're turning muscles on. Okay, so I'm, as my warm-up, pre-run warm-up, doing the balance, and then I'm just adding some movement. For you guys who have the Cool Impossible, you know this part of the program. And again, the movement is not working the moving leg. It's adding challenge for the stabilizing leg to continue to turn on and strengthen the leg. Again, I'm working at all different angles of the slant board and adding variety of movements. You know, kind of the knee. Now I'm going to the front, uphill, and I'm getting knee up in front. So before every run, I'm doing my slant board work. I'm activating muscles. I'm working my feet. Again, how we train our feet not only strengthens our feet, but more importantly, how we use our feet directly correlate to how we turn on muscles all the way up through our hip, which is crucial for running. Then while you're out warming up, here's another rotational squat that you can do that really, really activates the glute after your foot exercises. So typically, I'll do my foot exercises, head out for my run, get a nice little easy run in, and then do these rotational squats that you can do anywhere. When I'm at home, I do them barefoot. So I'm just squatting down, and as I squat, I'm gonna rotate towards the squatting leg and aiming to tap the outside of my foot. If you don't have that range of motion, go to the knee, rotate to the knee, and just work yourself down the leg. Use your feet for stability. This will give you a good sense for how important our feet are for stabilization, which is activating our glute. So the key is to maintain your balance through your foot. If you're not there yet with your foot strength, grab a bench just as an aid to help you balance a little bit. And again, we're just activating muscles. And since we're just activating things and not so much maybe strength training, just do a number of reps where you start to feel your glute begin to fire and maybe a little bit of fatigue in your glute. It's going to be different for everybody, so we're maybe looking at between maybe 10 to 20 reps. Again, everybody's a little different. Play around with it so you begin to feel it in your glute medius. When I'm out in the field before a run, obviously I'm doing them with shoes on, but you can do them anywhere. They really, really activate the glute medius. If you have a question of where the glute medius is, do these exercises, do the foot exercises, and you really, really start to feel it in the glute. And that's why, especially with the foot exercises, here you are working your feet, but mainly where you start to begin to feel it is in your glute. Why is that? It's our brain. It's that connection. It's that circuit board. It's turning muscles on. And that's the key to doing away with muscle tightness. Before more intense workouts, where maybe I want to train a little bit more range of motion, instead of stretching the muscle statically, I do kind of a dynamic warm-up. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do this, but all of my drills, okay, I'll list them in the description so you can see those videos again of some of the things that you can do during your warm-up for a more intense type of run, where it's nice and easy. I'm just warming up nice and easy and then doing my rotational squats and leaving it at that. But again, for a track workout or intervals, something hard, I will incorporate the drills that again are listed below in the description as part of my warm-up. Also in the description is a link to the Frio slant boards. If you've got the Cool Impossible, I'm sure you already have them, but look into these. This is the most important type of exercise I believe every runner, every athlete should do. It all begins with the feet. So see the link in the description. It's a great holiday gift for yourself. And it could be one of the most important pieces of equipment you ever get. You can take it anywhere. It's so simple, but it's so hard to emphasize how potent this exercise is without having really done it. It doesn't look like much when you see it taking place, but it is so potent that, again, it could be the most important thing we all can do for our health, longevity as runners, and for what we're talking about today of starting to create more muscle equilibrium so you take away the tug and pull of your muscles and eliminate tightness. We shouldn't be excessively tight.